Hey guys, it's Miss Carmen here again. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to read 4 little stories, so it might take a little bit longer than usual, but just sit back, enjoy, get comfy, get a snack. We're going to be reading a little bit of about, the first one is to be kind. And we're going to think about how we can be kind to others. So if that's your siblings, your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your grandma, how can you be kind to them? So let's read Katie Learns to Be Kind. The illustrator is by Jennifer Bartlett. Katie wakes up in a terrible mood. At breakfast, her mom gives her a bowl of cereal. But I don't want cereal. I want eggs, she whined. Her dad makes her eggs, but not the way Katie wants them. I wanted scrambled eggs, not fried, Dad, Katie says and pushes the plate away from her. She refuses to eat them. Her parents look sad, but Katie has to go meet the bus, or she'll be late for school. At school, Katie is still in a bad mood. Can I borrow a pencil, Katie? Megan asked. Mine's broke. No, says Katie, I don't want to share. Megan is surprised and a little hurt. Aubrey notices something is wrong too. Are you okay, Katie? Aubrey asks. Katie doesn't answer. She just looks out the window and tries not to cry. Today's lesson is about animals. Her teacher shows the class pictures of zebras, elephants, and hippos and talks about Africa, where they live. All the children listen closely except Katie. She just slumps in her seat. When Katie's teacher asks her which animal is her favorite, Katie shrugs her shoulders. I'm tired of school, she tells her teacher. Well, that's not a nice thing to say, Katie's teacher says, looking hurt, but Katie doesn't apologize, even though she feels terrible too. Buzz, the bell rings. It's time for lunch. Katie sits with her friends and eats her ham sandwich. She doesn't want to hurt people's feelings anymore. What should I do, she thinks. I know, I'll try being kind. Just then, Aubrey sighs. My mom didn't pack me an orange. And I love oranges. She looks upset. I'm sorry, Aubrey, Katie says. Then she remembers she has an orange. You can have mine, she says, handing it to Aubrey. Thanks, Aubrey says. Aubrey has a big smile on her face. It makes Katie smile too. Hey, Megan, did you ever find a pencil? Katie asks when they get back to the classroom. You can borrow one from me. I'm sorry I said no earlier. Thanks, Katie, Megan says and gives Katie a big hug. Wow, Katie thinks. I'm so glad I apologized, and I can't wait to say sorry to Mom and Dad when I get home. Then Katie's teacher asks for helpers to pass out coloring sheets. Katie is the first volunteer. I'll do it, she cries. waving her hand in the air. When she finishes, everyone says thank you. Katie feels great. She's glad she decided to be kind. It's the best way to get rid of a bad mood. The end. So now you think about how you can be kind. Next, we're going to read about Paul learns to be polite. So I want you to put on your thinking cap and think about how you can be polite. Paul is not very polite to his family. When he plays blocks with his sister, he takes them without asking kindly. Give me that block, sister, Susie. Give me that block, Susie, Paul says, and snatches it out of her hand. Susie begins to cry. That's not very polite, Paul, his mom says. You need to ask Susie if you can play with her block. Try saying please the next time. But Paul doesn't listen. He just stands up and runs outside. It's hot outside. Paul comes back inside to get something to drink. His mom is working hard mopping the hallway. Paul, please take off your boots, she says. They are very dirty. No, I don't want to, Paul says, and then stomps onto the kitchen with his boots and leaves mud spots all over the shiny floor. Paul's mom is very upset. Now she has to mop again. That afternoon, Paul's grandma makes cookies for a snack. Paul and Susie are so excited. Their grandma gives them glasses of milk and plates for their cookies. Yummy, Paul says, and puts a lot of cookies on his plate. After Susie finishes her first cookie, she gives her grandma a hug. Thank you, Grandma, she says. Paul forgets to thank his grandma. He is too busy eating his fourth cookie. His grandma is hurt that Paul didn't say thank you. It's bedtime and Paul must clean up his toys. Susie, help me pick up my trucks, Paul says. No, Susie says. You took my toys without asking. Paul then asks his mom, will you help me? No, she says, still upset that Paul got dirt on the clean floor. Paul asks his grandma next, but she says no too. She wishes Paul had apologized for not saying thank you. Why will nobody help me? Paul wonders. Now he feels sad. Then Paul remembers what his mom said. If you want help, I need you to ask nicely and not hurt people's feelings, Paul thinks. I'm sorry I haven't been polite, Paul says. Would somebody please help me clean up? I will, says Susie. And me, says Mom. Me too, says Grandma. Together they clean up. Paul thanks everyone and gives them big hugs. Thank you for asking so nicely, Paul, his mother says. You're welcome, Paul says. I'm going to be polite from now on. So, let's make sure we say our please, our thank yous, and asking questions nicely so that we're not being rude or not being nice to somebody. So the next thing, it kind of goes along with Paul learns to be polite. It is Shelly learns to share. So I want you to think about what you can share with your brother or your sister or your mom or your dad or your grandma, whoever. What can you share with them? So let's read about Shelly shares. Today's is Shelly's birthday. Shelly comes home from school and helps her mother and father decorate the living room with balloons and streamers for her birthday party. It's going to be a great party, she tells her parents, clapping her hands excitedly. Shelly can't stop thinking about all the gifts her friends will bring with them to the party. Ding dong, Shelly hears the doorbell. Her friends have arrived. They eat chocolate cake and drink lemonade. Then Shelly opens her gifts. She starts with the biggest one, a rocking horse. She also gets a teddy bear, blocks, dolls, and a frisbee. Shelly loves all her gifts and hugs each of them. They are perfect. What a cool teddy bear, Gloria says. Can I hold it? No, I'm playing with it right now, Shelly says, pulling the teddy bear close. How about the rocking horse? Freddie says. Freddie says, can Gloria and I try it out? No, Shelly says, jumping in front of it. My dolls are using it. Surprise! Shelly's friends shrug their shoulders and start playing with each other, leaving Shelly alone with her toys. Sitting by herself with a pile of gifts, Shelly watches her friends play duck, duck, goose without her. Suddenly, she feels very sad and lonely. Her friends are laughing and smiling, and Shelly is frowning. Hey, Shelly, jump up and runs to her friends. How about we all go outside and play frisbee together? Her friends agree, and everyone runs out to the backyard. Outside, Gloria hands the frisbee to Shelly. You should start since it's your birthday. That's nice, Gloria, Shelly says, but I want you to start. She hands the frisbee back to Gloria. Thanks, Gloria throws the frisbee to Freddie. After that, they all take turns throwing to each other. Everyone is laughing and having a good time, including Shelly. She is glad she shared her gifts and made her friends happy. The end. So, think about what you can share and how it is kind to be sharing with others. Then the last one is Henry learns to help. So let's say if you have a younger brother or sister, or you have made a mess in your room and you need to clean it up, well, without your mom or dad asking, you can just clean it up. Or when you're done with something, put it away. Just think about stuff that you can do to share, help, being polite, and being kind to others, okay? So this is our last one. Henry loves to go fishing. He especially loves to go fishing with his grandpa. He always helps Henry catch the biggest fish. But his grandpa has a lot to do each day and doesn't have time to take him. So Henry plays by himself and waits and waits and waits. When will his grandpa be done with his chores? One morning, Henry gets up and puts on his rain boots and fishing hat. He is sure his grandpa will take him fishing today. He has been very patient. Ready to go fishing, Henry asks his grandpa during breakfast. Not today, Henry, his grandpa says. I have to sweep the driveway, rake the leaves, and take the garbage out, and that takes a long time. Grandpa will never take me fishing, Henry thinks. He hangs his head and goes into the kitchen. In the kitchen is his mom doing dishes for breakfast. You look sad, Henry. Is everything okay? She asked him. Grandpa is always too busy to take me fishing, Henry says with a frown. He has chores to do every day. Why don't you ask Grandpa if he needs some help? His mom asks. Then he might have time to take you fishing. Great idea, Mom, Henry says and runs outside. Henry helps his grandpa sweep the driveway. They rake the leaves together, and Grandpa makes a pile for Henry to play in. Then they take the garbage cans out to the curb. With Henry's help, the job gets done quickly. That was fast, his grandpa says, and fun, Henry adds. I think we can go fishing, his grandpa says. Yippee! Henry claps his hands and runs inside to get his pole. At the pond, Henry catches 2 fish, and the biggest one he's ever caught. His grandpa helps him get them off the hook, but Henry gets to throw them back in. He is happy to be fishing with his grandpa. I'm so glad I learned that helping is fun, Henry tells his grandpa. I'm going to be a big helper from now on. The end. So I know this is a long time, but I really enjoyed reading those with you. So just remember what you can do to help, how you can be kind, how you can share, and how you can be polite to others. So I will see you next time. Bye.